Guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream where, yes, we're going to be covering all the biggest topics on Transformers Earth Wars as always. In today's stream, we're going to be obviously going through the news, all the big things that are happening in the game right now, but also going to be talking a bit about the web store, what we can expect from that. It was supposed to be live today. I was going to sort of show it on the stream, but it's not quite ready yet. But I had a look at it. And I sort of give you guys an idea of what to expect from that. Because I think a few people get a bit confused on what's going to actually happen. Good talking about this weekend's event, and we're going to also talk about what I expect to see in 2024 and what I hope for. Going off sort of, some things that Space Ape have sort of announced or what could happen, basically. We're going to take a look at Huffer and talk about playtest on what we've talked about and what I've said I want anyway from Huffer after a bit of a debate. We'll take a look at the new combat as well. It's still in testing. It's not quite finished yet, but just to give you an idea on what it's kind of gonna do. Anyway, we're going to talk a bit about the new Titans as well, give you a sneak peek of that, and then do some war attacks as well on some very popular bases. So, yeah, loads to cover in today's stream, guys. So, thanks everyone for joining as always. Let's see who we've got in the chat. So, we've got DDEC76, we've got Carnage Mac 8. We've got Jason Roller as well. We've got Penny Lancaster. We've got Lord Avix. We have got Charlie Plays as well. Appreciate everyone hanging around as well. I like to push it about a bit early, the updates. We've got Candyman as well, another of our members. We've got Grind Time. Big shout out to Grind Time. Actually, his birthday today. So happy birthday, Grind Time. I did wish him happy birthday elsewhere. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I have. There we've got Osvaldo Rojo. How's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining. We've got the Mercenary Terror, my good buddy Chris Lewis, another member as well. Thank you to all my members for being members and supporting me and being here and everything. Thank you everyone for subscribing, everything, honestly, guys. We've got Autobot Phil as well. Simon Hayes, good to see you again, buddy. We've got E-Rods, we've got Joseph Torillo, my buddy Stinger as well, good to see you as well. We've got Hellraiser, we've got Lou Mega, and we've got my good buddy Garrett, good to see you, buddy. We've got Spencer394, we've got Matt Poley as well, we've got Cyber Inferno as well, another of our members. Thanks for joining. And just a heads up, a lot of these sort of videos that you can see sort of advertised that way are mostly a lot of members' videos. If you want to check them videos out, guys, then consider being a member to get access to them. They will be released eventually, but it could be weeks, guys. I sort of look every week and go, oh, what's important this week? What's like really relevant that people need to know information? And sort of try and release it. I released a NoseCon video today because I thought, yeah, people need to know that before they do the event. So I released that today, but I'm always looking, thinking, does that need releasing right now? And some of the content, obviously, is way ahead. It's like, a month or two ahead. So, yeah, some of that content you might not see for absolutely weeks. So if you want to see that right now and get access to my videos as soon as I make them, then consider being a member, guys. But yeah, happy birthday, Grind Time, as everyone's wished. Good to see everyone in the stream. Cool. So let's have a look at the news and we'll go from there, guys. So this weekend's event is called Webs of Deceit. And again, I like to think into these names. Webs of Defeat, spiders. I don't know. Who knows? But we're in week 2 of the saga, getting close and closer to the single endurance, what I call it, or individual endurance. Sorry. And yeah, I've already given my views on that, so I won't give it too much again, but that is this weekend's event. So it is for 70,000 points, and it is Super XP to get a 5-star drill horn or nose cone. That is the obviously the top prize. Or you can rank at 36,500 points for a guaranteed 4-star. And I've seen some people saying like, well, what have you already got the 4-star? Literally, you just get another 185-star shards and some nose cone or drill horn shards. That's it. But yeah, sort of the usual sort of battle zones, usual points. I think it's 900 5-star shards plus the 180 from a duplicate drill horn or nose cone. So you're looking about just over 1,000 shards. Me personally, I've said all along that I'm not really going to bother with this event. The 5-star, although it's decent, it's right in between Black Friday, right near Christmas, right after endurance. It's just really poor timing. Again, I don't want to bang on the same drum constantly, but I'll be going too hard this event. Probably get around 15, I think 15.5k will get you 455-star shards. So if you're not going all out this weekend, guys, that's probably a good number to hit to get some decent amount of 5-star shards. 15.5k is not too hard over a weekend. So yeah, and then the next one's obviously 22.5k, which is a bit more time consuming. So I think 15.5k is a good stopping point if you're a bit busy this weekend. And then yeah, loads of total spark and total shard crystals, which are pretty cool, right up to the 5-star bot. So very cool. And game updates and information. So the next season has arrived. The usual sort of prizes on offer. With I believe, is it going to be the Christmas skins at the end of this one? I think it is maybe. I'm not too sure. But yeah, normal skin cores after that. So as we said earlier, waiting for the cyber store to go global. That will come soon. I believe it's going to be done tomorrow morning before the event. But don't forget, the event starts for us at, I think it's 10 a.m. And Space Saver obviously up from 9 a.m. So I'm no doubt they'll probably be working throughout the night tonight just to get some last things finished off. And it will be live probably like first thing in the morning before the event. And then we've got some picks of 5-star and 4-star nose cones. Some thoughts from some of the playtesters, so go and check them out. Then we've got links to your content creators. Go and check them out. Obviously, Engineer Hoist does a stream every week. Fraser does a stream every week as well. And Soldier does content around the big releases. So go and check them out, guys. And then, like I said, we've got 9 weeks saga just because it's Christmas. So this one leads right up to the beginning of January. We'll have a new endurance bot. So no news on that yet. Just the combat for now. And then community corner. I've had a lot of stir about this, thinking the candy cane should have won it. I think people saying things like that, but yeah, pretty cool designs. I don't mind them. They're all right. Yeah, pretty decent. Yeah. And then a few bugs. So sidetrack and growl. This is becoming a saga now. It's getting a bit tiring that we find that what they do is, I'm not sure if it's a knee-jerk reaction, but something happens in the game and they've reacted to it. And we'll talk a bit about that a bit later on. Slingshot and acid storm, so they fixed them from, I think they were, healing was happening under the acid, and the acid wasn't doing slightly as much damage as it should. Nothing major, but not quite. So they've swapped that round and made that so that it's not healing and doing the right damage. It's been some reports of Slipstream's fusion bomb not detonating. It's the first I've heard of it. It was air raid and slipstream. I think they fixed air raid but not slipstream, but they just said that they had actually fixed it. So I presume it was the same fix as air raid. And then a little bug of Nars where was quite annoying, where the minions would drop in the wrong location. So wherever we would drop them, I think they were just going to the nearest defense. So it can help you in some ways because they're going outside the sort of spawn bit, get there a bit quicker. But sometimes they're just going in the wrong area. But anyway, they fixed that anyway. That's sorted. But as I said, keep sending in bug reports. And some interesting bugs at the minute. I've just come to the game today, so one I'm not too sure about, so I don't want to comment on that yet. But one is that I believe that on the test server, we have the capability to charge our, I think it's shields and combined outposts for 14 days, just so we don't have to keep logging in every day. So we are setting walls up to actually charged. I believe that bled into the live server. So if you haven't charged your combiner beacon or your shield gen, I think it's going to be charging for 14 days. So I'd suggest you go and check that out and get 14 days of charge for cheap. So go and check that out, guys, and get that shield gen and that combiner outpost charge. I think it's just the combiner outpost. I might be wrong though. Go and check it out. Cool. Let's see what all the chat is about, what everyone's saying. So obviously a lot of not thank yous, a lot of happy birthdays at grand time, as it should do. What else have we got? Have we got any questions in the chat? Let's have a look. Anything in the chat? Nose grown, as the post has called it. It's actually alright though. He's not bad. Lancaster's put, where is Chris Harmon? Good point. He's always here. Don't know. Surprise him. What is that? Let's have a look. Adam Lee as well. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining. Garrett said he lost his father a few weeks ago. Commiserations, bud. Yeah, I dread the day that honestly my parents die, honestly, because I've got both my parents looking right now. But yeah, it's soul destroying. Yeah, they did say about the obviously Christmas skins that have got the designs, but I presume they're coming this saga. No, yeah, they must do. Yeah, it must do. It would be yeah. Chris Lewis said it did, but it's fixed. All right, so I presume it's been swapped around. Shame. Cool. All right, let's get into the game and look at some stuff. Let's just go back. So, first of all, talking about sidetrack and growl. So, I think this Space Ape have cottoned on to people doing the Thunder Drops. And I sort of did a video on this a while back where I put 1,000 IQ. Back then there was no name for it, so I just put, look at this strategy, it's 1,000 IQ. I think it was no secret. I don't think it was massively OP. Was it as designed? Maybe not, but it's not the only combat to do that. You can do that with any other combat. So, rather than fix the actual Thunder Drop itself, I believe they tried to fix Sidetrack and Growl instead. So, I think what people were doing was, people were using Silver Bolt, dropping Sidetrack and Growl behind the HQ, and leveling bots very easily. Now, I kind of understand Space Ape not really liking that, but if that's Zone 15, then people are kind of doing that with combiners anyway. So, I don't see why it's a massive issue, but obviously, whatever, for whatever reason, Space Ape didn't like it. Now, I kind of understand that, but I don't. Is it as intended? Not really. Do I think it needed fixing? Not really. But I can understand some players might get frustrated by it, especially if it's in war or something, and they're HQ 17, people are dropping one bot and killing the HQ with one more combat. So, I kind of get it. So, I think that the way around this really would have been to do something around Sidetrack and Growl against the HQ. Some sort of programming. I don't think there's any rush for it. I don't think it was like arms up in the air, everyone sort of shouting and bawling about it. But it kind of maybe needed fixing. And I don't think the issue is stopping DPS against the HQ, because that stops all the bots. So you are kind of in a rock and a hard place. But you need to look at Sidetrack and Growl, really. But what their decision was they decided to stop Sidetrack and Growl from targeting the HQ. Which, when I heard that, it made no sense to me. And I think personally, they just chosen a very quick fix. But it made no sense. I was like, I get why you're doing it, but it makes no sense, that fix to me. But I was like, hey, didn't think much of it. I don't really use it. And then we've got reports that what happens then is that when you destroyed all the base and Sidetrack is left, maybe, and maybe your bots have just died, or maybe just solo him with Sidetrack and a bot, and only Sidetrack is left, he might destroy all the base, get to the HQ and stop, because he won't attack the HQ. So now Space I'm sort of going, right, okay, well we can't do that, so now we need to fix it properly. Where I just thought, well, why don't you just fix it properly in the first place? That could have easily just, there's no rush, like I said. I just think they've sort of like knee jerked, and this happens sort of sometimes. Rather than putting the work in that's required, they sort of just knee jerked it a bit. But yeah, it was a quick fix. It didn't work, and so now they're going to have to work something out and try and revert it. And fix it properly, sadly. So, yeah, if you are using Sidetrack and Growl, just keep in mind that Sidetrack and Growl, great going through the base, but if your bot dies on the HQ, then you're going to be kind of stuck running out of time. So, yeah, keep that in mind. So, talking obviously about I want to touch about events coming this year. It's obviously in my top 10 improvements for next year. I've said a few times, a few things that I want already, but we'll talk a bit about events. So we've set up a interview with Dale in January. That's going to happen now. That's pretty much set in stone. We need to organise a exact date the first week of January. So if you are a member, then you'll get access to that. And we might even do it live. We're talking about and give members the ability to ask questions live, but only members. So if you follow back to the last time that I interviewed Dale, it was when they just got rid of leaderboards and they brought in endurance. And we were talking about the whys and the things about it and what they expected from it and things like that. And then Dale even mentioned back then that they were trying to do some different events. I had a few ideas. And I think that's where this sort of individual endurance has come from. I think they were sort of thinking about it for a while. I think NoseCon was a good opportunity just to try it out. Again, poor timing, I think, but good opportunity to try it out. So in that interview as well, though, Dale also said that he doesn't think that leaderboards will be gone forever. So I started thinking, oh, I might see a leaderboard maybe once every 6 months, but we haven't seen one this year at all. So I was kind of thinking leaderboards are dead and gone. But then I started putting two and two together. So we've got an individual endurance event. He said leaderboards might return, maybe. I think that was just sort of like a guess, though. But would we see individual leaderboards in terms of individual events where the top 100 get a prize? And I sort of thought about that for a minute and thought, I'm not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing because I know that some people will pay a lot to get in that top 100, say, and just miss out. But it goes back to them sort of TFL days, and it was really good. It was really good. Hard, don't get me wrong, very challenging, very time consuming, because obviously you've got people on different sides of the world, so people are staying up late. Things like that. Yeah, but it was good. It was really competitive and really good. So I want to sort of ask you guys, what do you think about an individual leaderboard? Is that something you think would work? Is that sort of good thing maybe? Obviously the prizes and obviously the tiers would be obviously negotiable and talk about. But I'm a bit on the fence with it really, whether it would work or not. Not too sure. But I still go back to my idea of a sort of random event, whereas you will be put in a sort of bracket. So obviously a player like me will be put in a bracket, maybe the top of the bracket, and I'll be put with other players, maybe 2 or 3 top players in a bracket, and then sort of filter down, and then you sort of go at the event with whoever you get. So but then the way we used to do it in TFL, this is what I'll go back to. A TFL player many years ago, met a lot of good guys, and what you would do, you would register for the event, so you couldn't have like inactive accounts. You would register for the event, and you got put in a random team, and you sort of helped each other. And I met so many people through that. It was good for the community just to meet people that you would never normally talk to. I just think that'd be a really good idea in some way, like some sort of random event where you just put random people, but people that have to register for that event somehow. I still go back to that. I still think that'd be a really cool idea just to meet new people and sort of connect. But hey, let me know what you guys think about that event. But I just think that we need some new events. We've got the same old events of endurance and even prestiges. And when I sort of left the top tiers and had a break from the top tiers, I went to the lower lines, talking to them about events and things like that. And I sort of asked them, what is the hardest thing you think is to get in the game? What's the hardest resource? And they said combats. Combats are so hard to get. for lower players. You've obviously got the chance events, but the chance events are pretty poor. The odds of those are really, really poor. They've said they'd love some more events around combats and getting 4-star combats, even just a 4-star duplicate or a 4-star crystal for combats. So I'd like to see something around that, some sort of combat event. And I don't want to delve too deep because I'm going into the top 10 and ideas for next year, but definitely some fresh events. I think the game just needs freshening up now in general with a lot of things I said is in the top 10 that I'm going to talk about shortly. But some definitely new events. If you've got any ideas for events, put them in the chat, put them in the comments, and I can sort of pass them on to Dale, hopefully. But I think this next year is all about just refreshing the game and bringing out some new content. I think that's a big one for me. We've got Titans, we've got Combiners, we've got bots, we've got combats, rinse and repeat. We get these every month, every 6 months, every so often. We've got HQ 18 almost complete, got the last phase coming out next year. So what is next? So hopefully they can bring some new events, sort of keep the game fresh. So yeah, give me your ideas, guys. I'll pass them on. Just looking at some comments. See, yeah, Penn Lancaster's put the tooltip for sidetrack does say can't attack at HQ. Yeah, that can be changed. Robert C4 has put they should change ground to be able to target HQ, but everything else on the map has to be destroyed first. That's a fair point. But not even then, because what if there's like one building left on the side of the map? I'm not too sure about that. Maybe that's probably the best solution. Maybe I don't think it's the right solution, but I don't think it's the perfect solution, but I think probably the best solution. I think. Matt Polar, insert plug for how to design a base video here. I've done a few videos on like base design in a way, but yeah. I do not update these ones on this screen actually. Got that one. Penn Lancaster, but what they should have done is made the combats drop when the bots come out. It's annoying for big dice to drop late on an air bot. Also, on the combat when they don't drop before you attack. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably the best fix. Although I don't like it, it's probably the best fix actually. Stinger, so let's change a combat, but Cup Lagoon is same thing. Yeah, but Cup Lagoon is time limited. You can only do it for 24 hours when you got the Cup Lagoon poles. But yeah, and you obviously got to pay for that. That's why, isn't it? Grind time. I don't want to see another leaderboard ever. I bet after that Minerva leaderboard, no doubt. Individual leaderboard would be interesting now. Candyman, I always hated leaderboard events. Lancaster, for individual leaderboard would be bad. It'd be great for SA revenue. But if you had 4 to 500 in endurance, then it would be nuts with the top 100. Many would be excluded again. Yeah, but you got to think so. Think about those, we talked about Dr. Claw last week. Those people that are like 400 odd K. There's always people in alliances, sadly, that don't do the points they should. Every single alliance, even in top alliances, guys, let's a bit of a secret. There's even guys in top alliances that don't do the points that they should for whatever reason. Sometimes it is family emergencies, sometimes it's not. But they don't sometimes. So you got to think that even in the top levels when they're doing the endurance for the 5-star, there's still people that don't hit their commit sometimes. So you got to think, and there's always people that do well over that commit. So it's just a way of sort of rewarding those people for doing well over the commit. But you've got to think if they're doing a leaderboard for a 5-star and they were doing top 5 back then, that's 200. So top 200 people will get the 5-star, which would be interesting because I think that there'd be players. I'm sure there's players out there that score well that will never probably get the 5-star because they can't really get in the top alliance maybe, or maybe as a one-off they want to try it. I just think it'd be something good to do as a one-off maybe. But Stinger 240's put TFL events give me bad flashbacks, endless days for top prize. See, they don't give me bad flashbacks. I look back and think they were good times. Grant says, but the Minerva leaderboard totally burned me out on leaderboards forever. Spencer's put, I think Alliance events is better because you can get more done. Well, no, it's the same. It's the thing though. When you talk about Alliance events, it means that people are carrying others. That will always be the case. Some people will carry others. Where individual, it is all on you. DDS put signal sound is back and loud as yeah, and I've been looking at it. I've actually found something I think can solve it. So apologies. But yeah. Robert C4, I want the endurance and chance event in the game style of endurance. So if you're lucky, you can get the 4-star. If you aren't, you get guaranteed 4-star. Right. So yeah, not a chance event. Then get rid of chance event. You mean? Yeah. Combat Spark events. It's not a Combat Spark event. We don't need a Combat Spark event. We just need to put them in events. Simple. Spencer's put combats and Shaniks are the two most difficult resources to get. You should get a decent amount of Shaniks surely throughout raids every single week. Every other week, should say, which is 5k for hang on license. But yeah, I suppose it's not a lot, is it? But let's be real, TFAW economy is very inflated. Look at Angry Birds. I show an example where you can buy bots at very reasonable pricing. It's always been like that, and the game is older and alive. Yeah, it's always been inflated. I'm not gonna lie. You are right. Grand test, but what's next? After 18, generally is 19. I think it's talking about the HQ. So, but I think they said HQ19 is not even in production yet, nowhere near. So, Adam Lay's put a random team war event would be cool, kind of like the old team events in TFL. Yeah, that's where I'm going with it. Them old TFL events, the old team v team events. They were pretty cool. I'm not too sure it work in war because not everyone likes to war, but I think it work in events. Charlie Players has put for random war events they could make a pay tier for rewards similar to Clash Royale events. It's just that yeah, for events like these adds a way to make money. You have to hit me up in the comments about that, exactly what you mean. Because I play Clash Royale. Make a pay tier for rewards. I'm not too sure what you mean by that, but let me know. I'd at least put maybe with high rewards for Spark, whatever all the rewards. Make them like 3 hours each. Win and keep your team. Losing, you get a new random team. They couldn't do it 3 hours though, because obviously because of time differences. But they could. I think they could do 12. I think 12 hours at a time. Mercedes says, "What it appeared, I'm not getting the 4-star or 5-star drill horn. I can't score that much yet. You've been playing the game for quite a while, though, haven't you? I know that. I know you sort of quit a couple of times, but you have been playing the game for quite a while. But yeah, 30k is a lot. Lancaster, I like the idea knowing you have to help each other out and not just getting points. Most guys I met with, you start to remember names, but no one really talk other than what's going on. Yeah, I just think there's a lack of community in the game. So we have the community in Discord and chats, but if you take, I tell you what, guys, honestly, like as a test, go and take a day off Discord online. Don't leave or you don't have to. Just go away from Discord and line, and then all you've got is in the game. You've got that chat in the game, but other than that, it's a bit of a lonely place in the game. So yeah, I just want to do something where brings the community together in the game somehow. Metabit, have we even had HQ Phase 3 yet? Is it Phase 3? Is it Phase 4? I've lost my way with it. I don't know. G-Lock, when will there be a new Legacy batch? The next... They want to see how well this one goes, and then they might do another one. So we'll see. Vic Cheeks put, yeah, the chat room system sucks. Yeah, the chat in the game are pretty awful, really. Spencer put, I've been trying to get the 4-star upgrade from Mega Supreme, and it's taken me almost a year. A year? Wow. Wow. 3 more raids and I'll be able to get the grapple upgrade and upgrade to a 5-star. Jeez. Actually, I saw the live stream thumbnail. How Brutus, and now I need to watch. Why would you not watch anyway? Brutus is not on there for any reason other than I fancy putting Brutus on there. Ben's but hey, what's going on in the Titan Assault? Some glitch happened to pick a Titan. We can talk about that in a bit, actually. I presume it's around the new Titan being pushed a bit early-ish. Penn Lancaster Sport. I used to play a game called Chrome Hounds. You actually had a community and people knew people, and there was smack and people knew each other's tendencies. Even match videos on YouTube, long con. Yeah, yeah. Similar to TFL, not with a YouTube thing really, because YouTube wasn't quite as big back then really. Wasn't like it is, especially not for gaming, more just videos and how-to things like that. But yeah, yeah, definitely. Cool. Okay, so let's push on to what I would like to see. So I've compiled a list of the things that I think will come to the game next year in 2024, but not just that, but sort of put them in order on what I would like. Now, some of them are just sort of things I would like because they are just things that I like. Some things have sort of been confirmed by Space Ape. Some things have been rumored by Space Ape. So it's sort of just a bit of, like I said, what I would like to sort of see in the game coming in 2024. And so off the bat, number 10 is Battle Boosts. So since HQ 18 has been released, Battle Boosts have come less and less relevant. And I sort of said to Dale that, we could do with some Mark IV battle boosts even, or just buff the current ones. But we definitely need an improvement on these boosts. I mean, some of these boosts have not really been buffed since concept in like HQ 14. So 840 electrical damage. Yeah, it was fine back then, but now 840 electrical damage is literally nothing at all. A yellow Kremzik doing 153 damage, 15 seconds. So it's still only 2k damage. It's not a lot at all. Even Red Crimzik, that was considered really good, doing 300 damage for 6 seconds, 1800 damage. When you've got defenses now with 14, 13k health, then that 1500 for a Kremzik over 6 seconds is pretty much nothing. The only Kremziks that are massively relevant right now is the white, green, and purple. The rest are just sort of place fillers. In terms of boosts, I don't really use any of the boosts other than those. And so, yeah, I think that battle boosts definitely need an upgrade or an improvement or some mark for something new coming out. And at number 9, I've put new events, but like I said, maybe just more individual endurances, maybe an individual leaderboard, maybe the team v team events that I mentioned earlier, but some vary in events, something a bit new and a bit different. I understand this with quite a bit of programming, but they need to really put into it. I think sometimes they brought things out and it's not been really well thought out. I don't think Titan Assault was very well thought out. I don't think Alliance HQ has been really well thought out. I get this new content coming to the game, but it adds very little. So we need something that's going to bring people into the game, keep people playing the game. And I think new events is definitely a big one. Next one is just more G1 bots. I always say this every year, but definitely more G1 bots. I'm a massive G1 fan, and I've said before that when Defosaurus came to the game and Starsail was like, who? It's not my sort of thing. It's not my era. So as soon as I sort of hear the likes of Skids come out, likes of Blue Streak, I'm very happy when those sort of bots come to the game. I understand that not every single bot can be a G1 bot because they run out of G1 bots, but yeah, hoping we can add some some good classic G1 bots to the game in 2024. And then in 7th place is fixing replays, and again, this is on every year. Replays have got a bit better, but they do need fixing. They're saying that they're overhauling the system behind the scenes, and we've seen a lot of improvements, but it's causing a lot of bugs. I've never had so many bugs as we've got at the minute, but replays have been buggy for years, since HQ 16, I think it is. I think that the more information they're putting into the game, the worse replays are getting. Now, replays are not that important for some people, but if you're playing wars at a top level, they are vital. And it's quite embarrassing that in a game that has replays, you have to record your battles and share them in chats because the replays don't work. Now, Space a while ago tried getting everyone over to Discord. Remember when it was in TF, they said to us, listen, I'll help you create a a place for TF and Discord. I'll help the top alliances to make a channel. And we tried that, and we just said, yeah, but we can't post videos. We need to buy Nitro to do that. And so that's why everyone's sort of stuck online. But line is not the best, to be honest with you, but it's just sort of what's easiest to use, because you need to be able to share replays, which you can't do in the game with any accuracy. So I think replays is a big one for me, and it always will be until it gets fixed. But definitely needs addressing. At 6 is 5-star combiners. Now, I was debating putting it a bit higher than 6th, but I think the reason that I'm a bit dubious about 5-star combiners coming out is I presume that when they bring 5-star combiners coming out, they'll add an extra ability and they'll probably add more health to them, just as that 5-star upgrade. Now, obviously, the worry is this makes combiners more powerful. Now, some of the combiners we've seen aren't too bad, but when you talk about the likes of Skyrain, when you talk about the likes of Magnaboss, and when you talk about even the likes of Ruination, the new combiners come out, those combiners are already very powerful. So I'm not too sure I'd even like to see them as 5 stars yet in the game. I think they're more than suitable for what they can do. But for bots like Victorion, for bots like Defensor, and for bots like Volcanicus and for Superion, yeah, I'd probably like to see them as 5 stars. Then we can sort of give them a buff, we can sort of rework them slightly, and maybe bring them back into the meta again. So I envisage sort of some of the original combiners, they might become 5 stars first before all the 5-star combiners come out. But yeah, I would like to see 5-star combiners, but I would not a blanket 5-star combiners everywhere on all of them. Maybe just specific ones, just to increase the the usage, and hopefully that will reduce our ore usage by using different combiners on different bases. So excited for 5-star combiners, as long as they are done the right way. And next up, we've got ranks. So we brought these out about a year ago, I think it was, and we've done nothing with them since. So looking at ranks, so it says here, look, upgrade and increase their power, health, and damage. And I think it says somewhere that it says like unlock the secrets of upgrading them. And I would really like to see a different rank, but just something else. I think that when we heard about this ranking up bots, we were like, oh, this is going to be brilliant. But then when I heard it was just damage boost, DPS, and just a health boost, then it was kind of demoralising. I was like, oh, what's the point, really? Now, if this was to increase ability damage or something like that, something substantial, important, or to give them something extra, then I think it'd be pretty cool. It gives something a bit fresh to the game, or something maybe even to chase. But as it is right now, just damage and health doesn't suffice. So I'd like to see more ranks, and maybe even balance them with better. Because at the minute, everyone has an overflow of the actual class shards and an underflow of the actual shards of the bot. So I would like to see them sort of balanced out a bit, and definitely see ranks, or further ranks, go into the game. And next, as we sort of mentioned, that I would love to see some more combat events around a 4-star combat crystal. A lot of the lower down players have sort of mentioned that it's really hard to get 4-star combats, even 5-star combats. So it'd be interesting to do like a combat event, maybe put some combat spark in it, put some shards in it, so you can get 5 stars easier. So definitely some combat events. I think it'd really be good for lower players. It might even encourage them to even spend to get those combats. So yeah, just sort of help lower players. Some combat events, not the chance events. It is a chance, and you got to think, if you're only doing a few prestige because you're quite low level, then the chance obviously goes even lower. I mean, I've completed them events and still not got a 4-star. So yeah, definitely not chance events, but more combat events, definitely. And next up is number 3 is research. Again, this is something I sort of bring up every year, and I said to Dale that the problem with research is the days are alright, they're not too bad, but the problem is that when you go from one to the next sort of level, then you've got research at level 10, which is a few hours, not too bad. Research at level 20, which is a few hours, not too bad. but then level 30, level 40, it starts getting into days. And so when you get that new bot and you want to level it really quickly, you think, right, okay, yes, you can't. You're sort of stuck behind a paywall. It's all well and good saying coin it, but when it costs a stupid amount of coins to coin these things, then you got to think to yourself, like, you're not going to do that. You know, to give you an idea, we'll put this in for research. And to coin him out is 3,000 coins. So if you're just spending $20, $40, that's a big chunk of your coins that you're going to spend on taking that bot out of the research. And that's just to get to level 51. So I think that they sort of need to reduce the research down into less levels. I think it should be one research for maybe a day or two. That means that you can get them up to that level on day one, put them in, and then finish them off on day 3. And you can maybe buy coins to do that. Even if it's just one day, just for the that one research, but just cut that research down, because a lot of people have got a massive backlog of research. Even top players that are leveling their 4 stars and 3 stars have said that they've got so much research backlogged that they'll never get through it. There's that much. So they definitely need to reduce the amount of research thing to get bots to 50, just to encourage people to get through them levels and get better bots so they can play at a higher level. There's too many barriers in place for players. And then talking of research, I don't know why we have 3 slots and that's that. Why can we not research 10, 15, 20 bots at once if you've got the resources? I mean, if it takes 5 million energon per bot, let's be realistic. You're not going to put 10 bots all in at once. You're going to get one bot in. It might take you a few hours or a day to get enough energon to put a few in, maybe 3 or 4. But then that's still 3 or 4 for a day, and by the time you've got to the 3rd day and you've got 12 in, you'll have someone coming out of research. So I just think that they need to limit the research to make it easier for players to get to a higher level quicker. And then next up is HQ phase, whatever it is. I've actually lost track now, but I've said to Dale that with the latest war changes, it's made the game very easy at the top level. Wars, to give you an idea, I had about a 270 average, I think 280 average, before I sort of stepped down from top wars. Went to the lower alliance, relaxed for about two or 3 weeks. I think it was at the lower alliance for 2 weeks. I think a week before that I was just in limbo, sort of relaxing. So 3 weeks away. So they obviously made these war adjustments. I came back to these adjustments, and I was a bit nervous, thinking like, oh, I might have got a bit rusty. I've not done any wars in 3 weeks, really. Not even any top level wars, anyway. Went back into it, and I haven't dropped a point since. I've literally been hitting 300, 300, 300 every single war, which just says to me it's just far too easy. I've even made big mistakes in them wars. In the war we're currently in, Roadbuster, I dropped him in the wrong place, and he just stayed down below. And Roadbuster's quite an integral part to my team. And I made some adjustments. I didn't think I was going to do it, and I literally ended up finishing with nearly all my bots by the end of it, even making a massive mistake. So war's just really easy at the minute. So I've said to Dale that I would like to see, keep it as it is for now, easy, but early next year we need the next phase of HQ 18. We need the new prime cores coming into the game, maybe even anti-acid, fire cores that were sort of brought into the game, or brought into tested, balanced, but not quite released. So maybe they could be released as well. Said to Dale, maybe even more mines, more spider mines, even maybe another outpost would be really cool. Something for defense rather than just keep upping the HP and upping the DPS. So going to be interesting what they do with that, and hopefully it's sooner than later. We can't wait for that. And number 1 is something that we talked about last year, literally nearly a year ago, by Yanis in stream, and I've been waiting for it ever since, and that is the war rework that they talked about. We've not heard anything for a few weeks now, but that war rework seems to me like it's been put on the back burner. Sorry, it just seems to me like they're not really pushing that through right now. But a war rework, Space Ape said that people aren't really participating in wars as much as they would like, or participation has dropped. And I said to them that it's not dropped because it's too hard. It's dropped because it's quite monotonous. It's dropped because it is harder. People have to log in more times, and it's unrealistic the time frames you're putting on them. Also think that the rewards are out of date as well. Getting one Prem Crystal for winning a war, things like that. There's a lot better things they could do with the war rewards. There's a lot better things they could do with wars to freshen them up. And I'm hoping that's the big one for 2024. Is a big focus on wars for the top level. We can do lots for low down players or mid level players by doing these combat events and things like this. Even if individual endurances are good for lower players because they might not be able to get in an alliance or merc, so it's good for them. So a lot of things we're doing for these players. But I think one thing we can do for higher players is definitely a war rework and HQ 18 phase whatever. I'll bring that out soon. So that's my top 10 improvements for 2024. Let me know what you think, guys. Is there any improvements you would like to see? Put it in the comments. Put it in the chat. Let me know what you would like to see come in 2024. And or is it just prediction? Put your prediction in there and what you think will come in 2024. What bots you think will come in 2024? A big one for me is Sunstorm. Let's sort of crack on with the Seekers now. The cons don't get a lot of love sometimes, so let's get some good cons. So who do you think is coming this year, guys? Let me know in the chat. But yeah, that's my list for 2024. Let's have a look at the chat. At least people don't like war because they have to do it every single day. The rewards are super minimal and don't make a difference for anything. They need to incentivize people to do it. I agree with that as well. I do. It's a bit haywire. I think there should be abilities that are equivalent to a MK5 boost. Mark 5? There's no Mark 5. You mean there should be a Mark 5 boost that's like an ability, you mean, I think? Well, back in the day, the orbital strike boost was pretty similar to what Jazz was doing back in the day. You gotta think like a 4-star level 50 was sort of the max. I mean, what's my Jazz at now? Oh, God, imagine. God, I've not touched him in years. Where is he? There he is. So yeah, I mean that's 58. So no, I wonder what 3 stars like. Jesus, going back a bit now. 3-star Jazz. 2,100 damage at 48.5 to give you an idea. So yeah. So, but that was the idea back in the day. But now there's soul left behind. It's ridiculous. A boost would be able to take out a defense, one defense, and that was fine. That's what its job was. But now it's just got mental. Shark boosts are worthless now. Agreed. Massively. Just put them down. They go bang, God, dead. Penlankas, I use the yellow chrome Zeke during events to finish a base off if Manabos doesn't take it down or if Cup dies. Yeah, that's all I use on my boost for right now. That's about it. Yeah. Robert C4, make a stronger zone heal battle boost now. Be pleased. Yeah, even the zone heal needs improvement, really. I mean, looking at the zone heal. 2,500 health over 5 seconds. That's not too bad, actually. 2,500 health over 5 seconds is not too bad in defense. I won't say it's amazing, but it's not awful. That's the point I'm making. Made awards like XP super high, like 10 times normal or higher. Maybe 100k or more spark, 500,000 Zen or something. Yeah, that's a good point. They should have loads of XP in war. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, should do that. It's a good idea. Simon Hayes, nothing more depressing than battle boost bundles on event weekend. Agreed. At least, but all of the awards were super high to be rather war the way for resources. Yeah, I think the XP is higher, but they don't advertise as much. They should do. They need to advertise it more. Spencer, I would personally like to see Gears. Yeah, Gears would be a good one. Yeah. Robert C4, Japanese G1 is still G1. It's not though, is it? It's not. Alright, I'll rephrase it. If it wasn't in the G1 cartoons, then then no, they're not G1 for me. Dark Venomous has put why Titans can't be used in events. For the simple reason that obviously a high level Titan can take out Zone 14 easily, and so you need any bots, you wouldn't need anything to use a Titan. You could literally use a level 1 bot in events, so it's not something they find that a bit OP. Not very desirable, which kind of agree really. Just dropping the low level bot, level 1 bot and Titan to do events is not really good, is it? Simon Hayes, what about a shark attack bundle? Ugh. No. Why does the camera keep going? That's weird. Grand Transport. And while they're working on 5-star combiners, they can remove the timer from combiners too. I think that's a lost cause, sadly, buddy. Candy Pants put Devastator needs a rework. He's my favourite combiner in the cartoon, but I never use him in the game. It's a fair point, yeah. It's a fair point. You know, we've sort of gone back and looked at some of the original G1 bots and sort of give a bit of a buff and a bit of a rework. So I think we should do the same with the combiners. At least just make them 5-stars and work on there. There's a bit of lag in the stream, I think, guys. Let me know. Prin Lancaster bot, I only have one bot as a sergeant. It's ridiculous to go from 5k to 50k shards. I agree. Don't forget, it's not double the damage. It's 5%, 10%. So yeah, it's not doubling damage. It's doubling the percentage, but it's not doubling damage. Doubling the extra damage, but it's only 5%. It's not much. Action Whale. It's yes, the Zendesk. That's where it is. The Zendesk wiki says ranks will boost HP, DPS, and even ability damage. So yeah, hopefully. Charlie plays. We need a new player bundle for combats. Well, I think can you use combats at lower levels now? I think when they first come out, they were limited, weren't they? I think I can't remember now. Don't you need the power collab or something to be able to do it? I can't remember now. I can't remember. Cyber Dance put anyone see a new glitch that the battle doesn't end once the HQ blows up? Even resetting the game still places you at the same spot in the endless loop like Groundhog Day. Yeah, that's a problem with the Vector Prime core. I thought it fixed it, but maybe not. Best thing to do in that situation is you can't get out of that battle. You can't win that battle, guys. If you get stuck in that, you can't win it. It's impossible to win it. What you need to do is just reset the game, and as soon as it opens, retreat. Just retreat out of it and lose the battle, and it will bring you out of it, sadly. But listen, guys, I know people might think, oh, I'm going to put Vector behind HQ and win battles like that. Don't do it, guys. It's a real douchey thing to do, you know, to sort of make people lose battle when they've sort of won, especially in events, things like that. So don't do it, guys. Penn Lancaster put my auto count. I have most of my 4-stars waiting to research at level 40 to 50. I dread getting through it. Probably 25 bots. 25 is not a lot from what I've seen. Honestly, I've seen people with hundreds. Honestly. Just skipped ahead and give me a second to go back a minute. So Jay Curry, my major frustration as a player for 3 months. That's good. To get an opinion of someone, you know, it's quite new to the game. Is I'm getting to a point now at HQ 15, which 3 months, that's good, where everything is so slow. The research part is getting painful on a turn off and keeping logging in. Yeah, yeah. Even on buildings, it can be quite, you know, quite boring, quite slow. But yeah, I think they need to speed up HQ 15 definitely. Maybe 16, 17. Should be quite slow. I mean, HQ 18 is obviously the brand new HQ in the game. So I think personally 17, 18 should be quite slow and something you've got to, you know, strive towards. Looking back at Clash of Clans, used to take you a long time to sort of upgrade. But, you know, HQ 15 is a bit too slow there. They need to speed it up. So Candyman's pot, I've got so many Autobots needing research, all leveled up doing dispatch missions. Losing XP. Loki, at least give us alt faction slots. Yeah, well, I don't even use alt faction, but anything's better than nothing. Um, the need for combiners and waiting an hour to cool down. I mean, you got to have combiners. You can't be expected to beat top level bases without a combiner. Really, you need to. For me, if you want to, for me, how it should be balanced is you should need a combiner and you should need boosts and you should need your best bots. It should be the hardest thing in the game, but it's yeah, the hour cooldown is definitely the killer for me. That's the one. Yeah. Candyman, they need to increase ore production. That is coming as part of the next phase of the HQ. That is coming. I'm running out all the time. Put some ore rewards into loot boxes, maybe. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Yeah. Loki, I think we'll get new Titans. You think so? Candyman put 5-star Skywalk. Yeah, that'd be decent. Jamie Carpenter, I would like to see better communication from Space Ape. Um, I think communication's alright in Discord if you got Discord. If you don't have Discord, it's pretty awful. They need to put something in the game. I mean, this sort of thing they put in here, this news is not very good, really. It's alright about new bots, but it's very late as well. So I agree, in-game communication needs to be a lot better, but I think outside Discord, it's not too bad. Granted, and then the next year, the top 10 most needed improvements list will likely be the same as this year. Let's see, Pulse bring out quick switch and 6-shot and make them like MDS where you can choose between the SA. Oh, I like that. That's a very good idea. The tech would be quite hard, but I even had an idea to bring 6-shot and quick switch into the game, but it never sort of cottoned on. But definitely, I'd do endurance for them, just for them bots, unless they're really really bad. But yeah, I love 6-shot. I'm saying that I wouldn't go for 6-shot because I'm a bot. But yeah, I do love 6-shot. Charlie plays 2024. We need an upgrade time for lower levels. A lot of burnout comes from taking almost a year before they can use Titans and participate in high wars. Yeah, we definitely need you know, easier to get through levels. Definitely research HQs. Definitely agree. Loki wars where you can only use each bot one war battle. No, definitely not. I'm massively against that. Dead against it. Honestly, like lower levels, you might be able to do that maybe with a few leveled up bots, but once you get to high level wars, you need to take your best 8. There's no way you are having 40 bots in wars. Not a chance. Not being successful. Not a chance. Mercy Terra, I still want Snapdragon as a 5-star. Robert C4 got his 5-star Leo's that. Why can't I get Snapdragon? Because he's rubbish. Robert C4, 5-star snaps would be very strong. No, he wouldn't. Not at the top level of the game. At the top level of the game, Snapdragon is considered one of the worst bots in the game. Honestly. What else? Candyman. I haven't used Nano Frost Boost since they stopped them from being used against the enemy Titan. Yeah, that's fair, not too fair. Grind time. I'll never give up the fight. Move combiner timer. Jamie Carpenter. How many sergeant ranks have you got, Wozza? None. None. I've got quite a few corporals. Got a lot of corporals. I think I've got about 15, 20 corporals. I think and a lot of extra shards, but I've not ranked them up to sergeant yet. Penny Lancaster, so much is outdated in the game. Even some 5-stars haven't shown up in the collections yet. Strafe isn't showing up that. Now, no one's calling it. That's weird. Action Whale, I have so many bots that need research. Yep. Cyberland put you can't quit the match. Oh, fast forward though. Restart the game and the battle won't end. All I know is it's not happened to me, but I know people it has happened to, and they've said that they've logged into the game and they very quickly exited out the game and they've got out of it very quick. So that's it. Yeah. What else? Anything else? Obviously, fourth, but Tidal Wave will be a Titan in Legacy. Maybe, yeah, we might see Tidal Wave then, maybe. Who knows? Um, J Chris, but is the HQ 14-16 range a kind of limbo from a previous era of the game to whatever it's come to be today? HQ 15 does seem to be a weird place to be in. I think maybe win one base defense a week. I think a lot of the top players in the game, or most top players, will battle in zone 15 and zone 16. So zone 16 is all HQ 18s pretty much, so maxed out bases. And then most decent players will then battle in zone 15. And zone 15 is normally HQ 16 and 17s. Not a lot of people really will battle in lower zones than that. And I think that HQ 15s are maybe in zone 13 maybe, or even zone 14 at a push. And yeah, everyone used to battle in zone 14, but not as much anymore. So I think that, yeah, you are in a kind of limbo sort of era, which is good. It means you keep your resources so you can get through them, upgrades quicker. But once you start getting into HQ 16, 17, then you'll get a lot more attacks. But again, you're talking like once every other day or once a day, maybe at a push. It's not like relentless, it's not crazy. And resources are quite easy to get at higher levels. If you want to know how to get resources easy, go and check out my video on scank raids. It will help you a lot to get resources very quickly. So yeah, go and check that out. Simon Hayes, I'd like to see flywheels as a G1. Bring back the Duocons. Yeah, I do like the Duocons. They'd be pretty cool as well. But I just don't think it's possible, I think. Yeah, Matt Polish for the Vector Core glitch. You just need to destroy the building with Vector Core before the HQ, then it works properly. Yes, it does. But what people are doing is literally people are putting their HQ and all their defenses sort of around sort of this section here and putting just one defense at the back with Vector Prime. And it's just it's a bit douchey in it, let's be honest. If you're going to do that specifically. I mean, some people just put it behind there just for the hell of it and it just happens. But some people you can tell have done it purposely, which is not really fair. So yeah, cool. Next up, we're on to Huffer. So we talked last week about Huffer and about how we're trying to change him as part of the legacy changes, going back to old bots and improving them. So again, a lot of talk in the playtest chat about Huffer and what we could sort of do. And I talked last week about making the laser invulnerable, but people sort of said that might be a bit OP, especially if it's 45 seconds. But the problem I've got is that when the laser starts to reduce in health, healers heal them. So I think we've come up with something a bit better overall, and I want your opinion in the chat. So currently at the minute, you place a beam laser down, 30% of your health, 90% of your damage. That's actually been buffed up to 90%, but we're still not happy with it. We still think it doesn't do enough. It also causes 20 speed reductions to targets. Also, fire reluctance on destabilizer effects causing up to 25 more damage. Lasts for 45 seconds. So personally, I said I would rather that get increased to 250% damage. So it would do around 1000 damage per second. But the laser is not targetable, but would only last for 15 seconds. So it's actually doing the same amount of damage that it is right there in the screenshot, as you can see. But instead of doing that damage over 45 seconds, it's doing it over 15. Because if you think about it, there's no abilities in the game that last 45 seconds. And when you actually add the numbers up of it doing 500 DPS over 45 seconds, you're talking 500 damage a second. You're talking 5,000 damage over 10 seconds. It works out around 27k damage it's doing, which is crazy for 3 ability points. But when you're doing that 27k damage over 45 seconds, then it's not so much. It's very minimal. You can't really tell. And so, yeah, I would like to see it last a lot shorter time and do a lot more damage. And I think the counter argument is that if it does do it 15 seconds, once you put 3 of these lasers down at 3 and 5 and 7, So for 15 ability points, you'll do 3,600 damage per second. That's kind of crazy. That's sort of like 50k damage, 60k damage in very quick time. So maybe the cost needs increasing, the repeat costs. Maybe make it 2 plus 3 rather than 3 plus 2 even. So the first use is very cheap. But yeah, a lot of talk on Huffer at the minute, a lot of things what to do. But let me know in the comments, like I said in the chat, what you think about reducing the timer down to 15, but increasing that damage so it destroys targets faster. Because I think the big thing about it is trying to give him more HP and give the laser more DPS. We could look at giving Huffer something to help him survive as part of his G1 if he ever gets one. But for the time being, we're just trying to, for me personally as well, just trying to make his ability do something good. So that's what we're looking into. Cool. I agree with Black Zarek idea. What's the Black Zarek idea? Not seen that. There's no one in chat called Black Zarek. I don't know what you mean. Anyway, sorry. So looking at the new combat coming out, so we're not actually going to take it into battle. We're not going to actually show it currently yet because it's still in testing as part of the test server. But I thought I'd show you guys on what it currently does. Now, I still think it needs balancing personally, but here we have Hound with the Cosmic Rust Blaster. So love the idea again of something in the cartoons being used to effect in the game. Love that idea. It actually made me want to go back and watch the actual episode of Cosmic Rust, which I did with Jake the other day. So at the minute, it blasts Cosmic Rust that spreads to multiple targets. Targets receive 60% more damage from elements, acid, fire, and electricity, and are slowed by 30% for 10 seconds. Increase normal damage of your bot by 32%. So the difference between the 5-star and the 4-star currently, just looking, is simply just the amount of damage it does on the elements. Now, when we started testing this, 6% is a lot. So you've got to think that when you've got the likes of Bumblebee in an area, that will do 66% of DPS over time, which is about 450 damage per second for 12 seconds. It's about 6k damage, maybe a bit more. And then when you add 6% more damage onto that, that makes it like 9.5k damage. That makes it crazy. And I think that one of the testers said that they actually just sort of like walked through a base using like 2 nightsticks, 2 top shots, and this combat. Just as the mental amount of DPS. And they said all they did was just keep everyone alive and just went through with normal DPS. So I'm not sure how true that is. I'm not testing myself. But definitely I think that right now it's a bit over the top on how it should be and where it should be at. So no doubt that will get balanced. But let's have a look at the effects and what it does. So here's Hound, drop him down. And if you watch, there's the Cosmic Rust going down. Looks very, very cool. And we've sort of been talking about how we could maybe use this on defense as well as part of the next phase for HQ18, because I love the idea of this Cosmic Rust. It needs balancing, like I said, but I love the effects, love the sort of lore behind it. So yeah, really excited for this to come to the game. But don't forget, guys, the only way you're going to keep up to date with this brand new content is by subscribing to the channel, becoming a member, and just watching the streams, guys, to get all the latest info. So you want to be up to date with all the latest Transformers Earth Wars info. Literally hit the subscribe button, guys, hit the notification bell, never miss another stream and never miss another video. And if you want any subjects hot off the press, consider becoming a member as well. Chris Lewis put, that looks sick. It does, doesn't it? It does look sick. It does. It is really, really good. And a slight peek for you guys. So we've had an update to the test server today. It was quite a large update. And so I thought, what could be coming to the test server that's a large update? Keyword large. And we've currently got the new Titans in the test server. So although all the Titan abilities are to balanced in terms of how much damage they do and what they do, I thought we'd have a quick sneak peek at them and what they would do to give you an idea. So Space Ape said that what they would do is they would have the Titans all beating each other. So I imagine they would all have elements. I thought one might have acid, one might have fire, one might have electricity. So I thought that Metroplex and Trypticon are sort of around fire-ish. I thought I might change them a bit and look back and edit it, but definitely around fire. And then obviously you got Scorponok and Fortress Maximus, which sort of look at electric. Well, they are a lot of electric. So I thought this guy would be acid. That's what I thought. But looking at the Titan abilities, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to switch into my other account and look at the Decepticon version. And just like that. So there we go. We've seen the arc. Now let's have a look at Nemesis. And there is Nemesis as well. So Titan's abilities. So at the minute we've got Energy Beam every 12 seconds. So obviously these are going to increase as you level the Titan up, guys. These are not the set sort of things. But fire 3 beams, each dealing X amount of damage to the target. Slow them down by 10% for 6 seconds. Doesn't seem that much, 10%, but hey. Passive ability is 30% damage reduction from melee damage. So 30%. So when we compare that to the likes of Trypticon currently has 20% damage reduction from range attacks. So we talked about this rock, paper, scissors. So I'm hoping that is where they go with it, but who's to know? Then we've got Shattering Rain, fire a beam that deals 100 damage and reduces target's attack damage by 30%. So a lot of slowdown, it seems, up to now on this Titan. 20% range damage increase for your Titan. Boost bot attacks by 7.5% when their HP is over 50%. I thought that sounded really good. 7.5% DPS increase when your bots are at full health. So yeah, pretty cool. Inspirability. When defeating a Titan, allies emit a fiery aura for 30 seconds, dealing a total of 100% of the bot's DPS per second. That's basically like a Megatronus effect that they will get for 30 seconds, which is incredible, really. Attack ability. Every 12 seconds, you fire a melty beam, deals X amount of damage. 1,000 damage sounds a lot at this level, but obviously it goes up as I imagine as it progresses. So yeah. Next up, 20% reduction against electrical damage. So I think this is where it will go against Fort Max and against Trypticon, because it does less against electrical damage, which obviously they do a lot of. Attack ability. Every 12 seconds, release a burning cloud in a mid-sized area that deals 800 fire damage over 10 seconds. So again, we're going back to fire damage. So I'm not too sure where we're sort of going with this. Targets destroyed by the cloud will explode and spread the fire effects to nearby enemies. So sounds cool. Not sure how applicable that will be. Passive ability. Every 30 seconds, heals all allies and defenses by 1%. So 1% is not a lot. Every 30 seconds, allies and defenses, 1% is not that much. If that 1% was to increase as you level up the Titan, I think that would be pretty decent, but not too sure. And then lastly, Inspirability. When defeating a Titan, grants all allies a 20% lifesteal for 15 seconds. So let me know in the comments, let me know in the chat, guys, on which of these abilities do you think is looking good? Which do you think you're excited for, and which would you use as your Titan? Which do you think would work well against the other Titans? Let me know in the chat. So a little sneak peek, and as always, the only way you can sort of get to see sneak peeks is becoming a subscriber or becoming a member. So hit that subscribe button, hit that member button, guys, and keep up to date with all the latest content. So look in the chat, let's have a look what they all have said. We can't transform, don't think, sadly. We can't see them. But yeah. But actually, I hope they make some slight model change for Nemesis. Just some weird kibble and a backpack sticks out. I presume that's what the toy transforms like, is it? But I doubt there'll be any model changes now. That'll be done. When it comes to test server, once they get released animation-wise, very little gets changed. D-Deck, now the game needs chorus stop. That's exactly what I said. Exactly. Definitely. Loki, Cyber Store in test server show also. No, the Cyber Store is not in the test server at all. But if you go and watch last week's stream, it is there, and I will be posting a video to my members this weekend about the store. But it will be available tomorrow anyway. But just going through the store, explaining what I think it's good for and things like that. Anyway, but we are going to talk a bit about the store shortly, but I haven't got it in the test server. Opening the Titan Lab now crashes my game. Tried it 3 times. When you go to switch Titans, crash. I'm not checked in the live server yet, so it's probably a bug. Ricky Lance put, are these new Titans will use Earth-based attack? I don't know. I've not even tested them yet. This is all I know. Grant has put the glass car one sounds like flatulence. That's the way you get that from. Deadly flatulence. Flatulence, I should say. Jason Rose put, they made the ship Titans. Why? And will the ships on the base be replaced by the Titan? No, they won't. They've said it's from another universe or something. They've copped out in that way. But listen, these are the new Titans that are available as toys. So these have been sent by Hasbro. So sadly, it is what it is. But yeah, cool. So yeah, we did want to talk about the Cyber Store, and we did obviously show this last week and sort of went through the prices, things like that. So I was in the sort of chat, and I sort of looked at the store and spoke to Dale about it, and I said, well, I'm pretty sure you said that'd be better value, but what's happened is all the bundles are the same price. The price of the bundles have not changed. What they've done is they've added 5% onto it. And 5% is nothing. When you think about 5%, it means if you buy a pack of 100 crystals, you'll get 5 more crystals. If you buy a pack and it has 100,000 spark in it, you'll get an extra 5,000 spark. So this 5% is very, very minimal. And for me, yeah, I'll use the Cyber Store, but I was excited for it when I heard about it. And now I'm not really excited for it. And you know what? If I was to buy a bundle in-game by mistake instead of the Cyber Store, I would go, oh well, never mind. I wouldn't be going saying, oh, I want these extras today, because honestly, the time it would take you just to send an email and wait for the reply to get that 5% is not worth the time. Honestly, it's just so minimal. And for me, I just think there's not much better value, really. I mean, there's some things floating around which Dale said is not true. Someone said Space is making 30% more on these bundles. I believe Dale when he says that that's not true at all, because Dale's never really lied to me in any way. So I do believe Dale when he says that. Do I believe they're making more money with the bundles? Yes, I do. Do I think that this has revitalized the game or made some massive change? No. I don't think it's changed much. The only thing I am hoping is obviously the content creator codes. I've not seen anything of that yet. It might come an update, but I'm not going to hold my breath. There's been a lot of times where Space people sort of promised things in the past and said this is going to happen. I've gone, oh, brilliant. And then it sort of died away. You know, when they said they're going to include in the newsletter, we have to sort of do all the work and send them videos in the newsletter. When they said they're going to do a bit of social media, it never really happened. When Dale sort of said he's going to get access to the Facebook account so he can start posting things on socials again, that never really happened. And I don't think it's because that he can't be bothered or even he's not got time. I think it's just things in place stopping him from doing that. Not sure what it is, but again, just from experience, I'm not really going to hold my breath. But I hope that all the people watching, if that does come to fruition, you can support me again as always, literally just by putting a code in when you buy anything in the web store. So we'll wait and see for that and see what's coming. It should be released soon, if not already, if you watch this at a later date. And yeah, we'll wait and see what it holds. But it's not going to be any cheaper, guys. Keep that in mind. It's still going to be the same price. And Dale said they'll probably bring some exclusive bundles out here and there. But again, I wouldn't hold my breath. I don't think it'd be that often. So, yeah. Charlie's players will put apes get 10% of profit and we get 5% more of in-game resources. I'm not too sure exactly what it is. They said that they're paying tax. I'm not too sure. Alright, said store price should still be lower since Google and Apple don't take their cut with it. Yeah, but the new site takes a cut instead. So, yeah, they are a bit less. And then last off, just wanted to look at, so like I said, some war attacks. So we've got transfer over to war. Nope. Oh yeah, that is it, yeah. Cool. Just played randomly. All of them have. There we go, cool. So, some war attacks to sort of go through you guys. Let me just move this over a minute over to here. I'm hoping that sort of people can watch these sort of war videos that I'm doing, look at some base and then go, oh, you know, Wozza's covered that base. He showed an easy way to beat that base, and I can go and watch that and hopefully do well against them bases at a later date. So we've got a few replays for you today. So just pause in here. So we see this base quite often. It's a very popular base, maybe midway through the year this year, caused a lot of problems for people. But someone showed me a very nice little trick to get around it, and I've used that ever since. And that trick is that if you put Rook on this outside wall here, he will walk around to try and get to these defenses around here, and he'll walk all the way up, popping the outpost as he goes, and we'll watch that in action. So we popped Rook first there. So you'll notice what I'll do as well is excuse me, I use Shield Drawn to use a free pop when the outposts are near the landing area. Sorry, there you see Shield Run then popping the outpost. So we get a free pop out of that. Then we drop the rest of the bots behind. So I want to do some damage to this area here. So the idea here is that we're going to do some damage around this area. Try and take as much of this out as we can. And then we're going to finish it off on the other side with our combiner. So once we get to the station here, just to rewind a bit. So you can see there, Rook's Hollow has been placed there, and then it walks up to get round the wall, popping Twin Twist at the top. Twin Twist is 9 times out of 10 the bot at the top. Just be careful if it's not. As Twin Twist comes down, let's hit my bots. We place our combiner on the other side. So the idea is, I want to leave this outpost unpopped. So I need to take out all this section here. That's the focus right now. So we leave Omega at the back of the pad as well. By doing that, he won't get targeted by any of the outposts. And you can see there, look, they're all just sat there. Dinobot is now running over, but the rest are just sitting still. it means it gets to do more damage and last a bit longer. So place your combiner at the back of the map unless there's a certain target up high that you need to get to or something, or get up quickly. If you want the combiner to go upwards quickly, then you need to drop your combiner as high as possible. If you want your combiners to do damage in the lower section, drop them right at the back of the landing pad. So now what I'm thinking is, now my combiner is going to die, so I need to get rid of these couple of defenses. As I make it die, it's going to do some damage to the defense at the top, but I do need to get rid of Liège. I think Liège is up here, I think. So I'm thinking, right, I can battle the combiners down here. When I talked in my previous video about war attacks, I said don't battle the combiner getting hit by a lot of defenses. You're going to land yourself in a lot of trouble. So I want to sort of, I can handle this damage around here. I can handle the combiners. I can put Minerva Tower down, keep my bots alive. That's the idea. But I do need to get rid of this Liège. That's what I'm currently thinking of when I'm talking about, or thinking about my attack. So combiner dies. So now the focus now is getting rid of that Liège core. So as Roadbuster walks up, use Roadbuster to take out the Liège core. That's what his job is. Job done. No problems. Now I've got no worries. I can try and take this cluster out behind. So now, as the bots start to go up, we're literally just going to use our normal combo of using Brainstorm on it along with Roadbuster. So there's Brainstorm. Then we use Roadbuster on the shield gen. Use another Roadbuster. But actually the healing from my Chronos just healed them just enough. So then we just rush pipes in. And then pipes finishes off the job, and that section is gone. And now, even though my Titan will lose, I can just throw some sharks over here, throw a rook hollow, throw pipes over there if needs be to distract the Titan. So the idea is using all your Titan boosts as well on whatever build bots you need to get rid of. Use your Titan boosts. Try and get through the base quickly. And so when your Titan loses at the end of the battle, you just need to distract that Titan for the rest of the battle. So let's look at another war attack. So this base is a kind of a new design that we're seeing from a top player in the game. So it's no easy feat sort of beating these bases, guys. So I use this quite a lot when I face these bases. I use 6-gun. And so I'll drop 6-gun, and the idea is I'm going to use 6-gun to kill most of this side. So down below here, it's about 30 ability points. And you've got to think, if you've got Alpha Trion on your bots as well, you're gaining more back. So basically, whatever ability points you start with, you can literally use them all on these defenses from range, and you'll get them all back. What you've got to be careful of is your bots walking off. Now, I accept that 6-gun is going to walk off here because I need to get him in range by placing him high, but I know from pathing wise, he's going to walk up, but that's going to work to my advantage. So I'm going to clear that area here, and that will keep the rest of my bots low. And so now I'm just going to keep using 6-gun to do loads of damage. So use 6-gun there, taking out 2 or 3 defenses. There we go. Same again. We're going to use 6-gun again, 2 or 3 defenses. There we go. And then it takes out this one, and it takes out this turret, and you can see there that a good third of the base now is gone. So 6-gun kills his shark, and although he will target some of these things here, he will just start eventually to walk up here naturally and walk around here. So he's going to pop this outpost over here. This is why we dropped our bots over here. Kind of sacrifice him. He's done his job now. He's really expensive, so I would not use him again. Now we're going to concentrate on the other side. So our bot started to walk up our gunners, which was a bit of a worry. So I dropped the rook hollow and dropped my combiner a bit earlier than what I wanted because Twin Twist was there. I thought Twin Twist was a bit higher, but it wasn't. Drop the combiner instead, just to make sure we don't get hit by those two, because they're probably the most dangerous parts of the attack, is that combiner and Twin Twist. So we're going to try and take as much of this out as we can. So we used our combiner, but we also used a Titan Blast as well. So you can see there with the Titan Blast and the combiner, it does a lot of damage. Don't try and take out the shield gen when it's got my Chronos next to it with just a combiner. You will fail, guys. So yeah, we've used a Manabot's 4-star ability up there to get rid of the FFD because we want to be using pipes. So we can rush pipes in down here, but we need to get rid of that FFD. Manabot's ability almost gets rid of the FFD. You can see there. So we use Sea Spray, just finish it off, and now we can use pipes. But we've tried using Rook there, but Rook's hollow actually went downwards. I placed it a bit too much left rather than right to cut onto this here. So we've tried again. And there you go. Then it sort of pops that outpost. We've lost Skids because he was too high, sadly. But the rest of the team is intact. So it's no problem. So all we're going to do now is literally just get through the base. So you can see there. All we're doing is using our DPS. This is where I said where we're going to use pipes, I think, to distract. So we get enough ability points. Then we use pipes, just send them up there to distract the Titan. The Titan will now hit pipes, but you can take the hits while the rest of your bots hit the HQ base down. So a lot of those bases where you have all the resources at the front and defense at the back, I always use 6 gunner situation to reach up and do a lot of damage in that area. Because it's only hitting defenses because there's nothing else there. You can one-shot most of them as well. So even though he's expensive, you're getting all those points back. And then the next base is a real top base in the game again. So again, no easy feat. And it's actually caused a few problems in war, this base as well. So same again. So we've sort of, what's happened here is when you look at this base, we've got all the important cores up top. We've got Twin Twist up top. We've got the Combiner up top. So everything dangerous is up top. So what this sort of makes you want to do is it makes you want to try and get through the bottom section without using your Combiner and saving your Combiner for the top section. But if you can get rid of this middle section from range and you can use pipes and get rid of the FFD, there's not much that can hurt you really in this top section. So my plan was to path this bottom section, get through it, take out this middle section, and then just withstand the outpost and Combiner with pipes. Now, what I did notice was that I thought if I can use Sea Spray and kill a lot of this sort of area here, an angle, and use my Combiner down below, I think I can skip at least 1, maybe 2 outposts. And that was the kind of the plan. So we've dropped Rook there to make sure it doesn't hit any mines or anything, and then we've got the hollow there just to pop the outpost. So we're going to use Sea Spray. So Sea Spray gone up on there, doing a really good amount of damage. Done Sea Spray again because I want to keep my bots away from this outpost. Now the idea is I want my bots to walk around here. That's the idea. So we put one outpost, that's fine. We're going to use our Combiner. I'm actually going to target, you can see there, all his defenses and even the ally structures. You don't always have to target defenses, guys, with pathing. When you're pathing, you're taking an area out. Doesn't matter what is in that area, you're just looking to take that area out. So we use Magna Boss, like I said, take that area out. So even this here is going to attract warriors. This should be okay now. But we still want to, I want to make sure they go up this way and not even go near here. So we drop Magna Boss one more time to get rid of that. Keeps everything intact, which is good. We want this intact so all our bots walk around and go up. But the problem being is, which you'll see now, is the bots start to split because of this build bot. I didn't envisage that. So they start to walk around. So now I was like, right, okay, I can't let all these bots walk up and these bots stay down below. So started doing my process of killing this sort of section. Used Road Buster, used Brainstorm and took that section out. And now you can see there's not much left. Now it's a case of using pipes. So we use pipes over there, put the Combiner, and we've tried to put pipes as high as possible, just so the hack doesn't really get anyone else. There's also anti-healing Billbot there, which he has taken out, as you can see. And now that the Combiner uses the ability, now that Twin Twist is finished, I actually use Brainstorm just to slow him down to make sure I don't lose pipes. And now it's just a case of withstanding the damage, and a case of just destroying the HQ. Nice and easy. And there we go. So I hope those attacks have helped you in some way to improve your war attacks. And if it does, let me know in the comments if it's worked for you in a top level war. But yeah, I'm going to be doing these sort of every stream now and sort of showing you how I attack a certain base and how I approach it and the reasons why, and hopefully that will improve you in wars and can get you at a higher level quicker and get some better scores out of it. So, yeah. But that's it for this week, guys. So a big thank you to everyone for tuning in. And don't forget, before you leave, hit a like on the video, guys, if you enjoyed anything today at all. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave. So we will see you next week. I appreciate it's Thanksgiving next week, but we're going to do the stream regardless, because obviously I've got people from all over the world. But I understand that if you are busy next week with Thanksgiving, then have a great Thanksgiving, guys, and I hope you enjoy it. But other than that, I will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you then, and peace out, guys.